1340 96.5 KVGC on the phone. Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again, back from his Thanksgiving hiatus. That's not a disease. That hiatus means he took the week off. But anyway, Douglas, good morning and welcome.
It's great to be back. Missed everybody. I just enjoyed the time off. We ventured in last time we left off. If you remember, we were going to go venture into the city, New York City. We did so. We saw the Rockettes. We had lunch at some extraordinary restaurant in the city, and saw the tree. Did you see that tree lighting the other day? By the way.
Well, a friend of mine was going to send me a video or some pictures of it, but he never did. So.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. It's on television last night, the tree lighting.
Oh, okay.
It is now a 2-hour concert leading up to them pressing the button to light the tree. When we got there, it was a smidge before Thanksgiving, so it was like the day before Thanksgiving, something like that, and the tree was not lit yet. In fact, the tree was just up, but there was scaffolding everywhere. And so, I don't know, it didn't, it sort of lost its cachet that way. And the problem is right right by the ice skating rink, there's a bunch of stores, and one of them's a Lego store, so I got sucked into that with Leo, and then crying and wanting to buy something, and I'm not buying it. And there's never an easy day, an easy day.
Who was crying, you or Leo?
Yeah, both of us, because now I know what Santa has to get for Christmas, and it's not easy on the pocketbook. But anyway, yeah. And then last Saturday we went down to Main Street, Northport. Now, of course, we saw the Macy's windows. They window dress all these big giant windows in Macy's, and they're supposed to be so wonderful and all that. And they were good. But I'll tell you what. I bet you this happens the same thing on Main Street, Jackson. The local retailers in Main Street, Northport. Those windows, they're a little more old school with the villages and Santas and things like that, and they look beautiful. They look just as good, if not better, than Macy's this year.
Yeah.
Some people go all out, these businesses, and they're really nice, right?
We had our Christmas delights over the weekend. It's a 2-day. It's actually a 3-day. It's a Friday, Saturday, but they continue it into Sunday here on Main Street in Jackson. And people, but they don't go all out like that. So people dressed it up like the you said like the movie.
Oh well, yeah. They one location, and it's been 12 years now or something like that. This has been going on and on. One location it's a candy store, makes their window a big nice window, and they make it up just like a little homage to A Christmas Story. And they do an actual lighting of the lamp, which means that there's a local theater. It's very successful down the block. So they do a whole parade from the theater to this candy store. And then at the candy store, a couple of actors act out the scene where the special award is, you remember, in this box for GLA and all that. Yeah. And they take the lamp out, and it's beautiful, and he puts it in the window, and the wife almost, freaks out because it's a leg and whatever. And then they light it. And so they do a little bit of a skit with the tree lighting, and now that is the symbol of Northport, Main Street. If you go down Main Street, you have to see the leg in the window. And then they do a whole hoo-ha afterwards, with dancing, not Rockettes, but the Tigerettes, which is the Tigers of the local high school, mascot. So they're doing a little Rockette type of dance, and then there's the Nutcracker, a couple of local girls that are doing ballet. They're doing a dance on the street. They shut off the street. The businesses are open. So it's a big event just to get that tree lit, and then the local television news is there. I mean, it's really blown up into something. I don't know if anybody else does this, but this is their big to do. I really enjoyed it. It
sounds like a lot of fun, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's good-natured. What town celebrates a movie like that, and the Goofy is part of the movie with the leg lamp, you know what I mean? So it shows a little something about the town that I'm from, I guess you would say, and it's a nice feel. It's not the night before they light the big tree, in the local town square It's more or less on the water, where there's an outdoor location where they have bands play in the summer, and it's a little park and all of that. And Santa comes on a fire truck, and the Grinch and all these characters. So that's another night, the night before. But this is a night, the night I'm talking about is just dedicated to the lighting of the leg. And I enjoyed that night and all that stuff better than that lighting of the Rockefeller Center concert for 2 hours. Did you see any of it?
No, but then I would imagine after the lighting of the leg lamp, you all go out for Chinese dinner. Is that?
There was the option of Chinese. There's the option of pizza. But there's a new place that we discovered, and I'm not really a big Mexican fan, Mexican type of food fan, but it was delicious, quesadillas and tacos and that kind of stuff. So we picked that up and brought that home and just had a nice little night for ourselves.
Come on, you should have gone to Chinese. That would have kept in the.
I know, Chinese would have been perfect in the theme. Well, that's true. It didn't even come to mind, to tell you the truth. Well, I don't know why. That's it. Even when you mentioned it to me, it didn't come to mind. I took your question seriously.
No. I mean,
I missed the boat on all of that.
The dog grabs the turkey and runs out the door. And Hey, so when is Angelica's production of Frozen?
Let's see, the 15th. I guess it's next weekend.
Oh, okay, next Sunday then.
Yes,
okay.
So I'm going to be I'll be videoing it, and maybe I'll put some on the web. It's depending upon how she does, and go from there. But it sounds like she's taking a little lesson down the block. We have a neighbor that does some voice lessons, which is convenient, and of course she's rehearsing with the YMCA. And word is that she sounds pretty good. But I don't get, when I arrive to pick her up from the lesson, I get to listen through the door a little bit, and it's not the same. She doesn't she's not very demonstrative. She doesn't rehearse at home. So it's really going to be more of a secret kind of presentation to me. I have no idea how this is going to sound, but she's the person giving the lesson, and the people at the YMCA are saying that she's doing well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she performs. I've never seen her sing, sing these songs. And Let It Go is a huge showstopper, so this is going to be something. Jake
is in the Baker Street Players production of Christmas Carol again. He's playing Dickens, and he tells the story of what's going on in each scene. And Teresa and I went to see it opening night on Thursday, and not that we had planned to do this, but they said, please, no photography, which I understand, but no videoing, no recording, because of the rights to it. And I would think that A Christmas Carol would be in public domain, wouldn't you?
I would, though.
So be careful when you record that. No, I'm serious.
You know what it is, actually? That's a good point. I keep it close to my chest, but we can purchase a video of the play, which we're definitely going to do. So I'm just going to click it on for the 2 songs that she sings, and hopefully not get. I've done it before, not get any feedback. You're right, though. There's all this stuff, but it's weird because if there are rights that they have to buy to perform the play.
Oh, they do. Trust me, they do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure but I'm saying as part of the agreement, it's got to be.
No, it's not.
No, you can't.
Trust me,
tape the performance.
No, it's not.
So what about?
And you can only do it that year. You can only do it that one time.
But what if you tape the performance just for the actor's sake?
You can do that, but you can't make any money off. You can't sell it. You can't do stuff like that.
Right.
Now, I've had 2 weeks to kind of reflect on something that you and I were talking about, and you kind of poo-pooed me the other day when I said I thought that Home Alone was a great Christmas movie.
I did, because I'm questioning. Everyone does say that's a Christmas movie, and people say that.
I've changed my mind. You
have. Good.
Die Hard.
Well, that's what I was going to say. People say Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and that's not a Christmas movie to me.
It is a Christmas. It happens at Christmas time, doesn't it?
How do we define a Christmas movie? I guess Santa has to make an appearance for me to believe it's a Christmas movie. I guess I don't know.
I tell you, I'm getting tired of seeing. There's a channel. I forget what channel it is. it keeps showing Home Alone and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on a big loop. It goes from one to the other, and it's a national. It's on the satellite, so it's like
they are good movies, but you're right. After a while, it just gets to be a bit. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Also, it gets to be a bit much in that, like, Our Wonderful Life has seemed like 35 years now. It's a tremendous movie. But how many times can you watch it? So you're always looking for something new. Two things. Number one, have you seen what Hallmark is doing? The Hallmark Channel.
Buddy, we've been watching Hallmark since before Halloween.
And they're Christmas movies every night, right?
Same actors, same stories, same locations, and I've seen them all 5 times, and I'll probably see them all 10 times before. Yeah, that's kind of a tradition in our...
All right, because they did something. I'm hearing that there's allegedly, I don't know, 24 new ones also this year. They've got they have new ones. And here's what they also... And no one's saying this, and I've just been kind of sitting back waiting for this. All the ones that had Lori Locklear in them, right,
are all gone.
Oh wow, they're not going to replay them.
Oh no,
she was in a lot of them.
Yeah, and so she's kind of persona non grata. So they fired her from, and she actually had a show on Hallmark. Hallmark's got a couple of channels.
A detective, right?
Yeah.
So the movies are okay though.
Oh, they're horrible. No, this is it. Okay, so there's a boy and a girl, and one of them has a bad relationship with their current boyfriend or girlfriend. They somehow, in some circumstance, meet the other one. They don't like each other at first. Then they begin to work together. They like each other. Then there's some type of confrontation or some type of
misunderstanding.
Yeah, like the good one, and I was watching them last week, and I was going, I've never seen this happen, never happened to me. I don't know. This is when the boyfriend and girlfriend will break up, and they'll kiss each other. It was nice, kiss each other, hold hands, and the other one, the new one sees it and goes, oh no, they're getting back. What have I? And they leave town, or they go, what the, come on. So anyway, so that's what it is. So, but then by the end of the movie, they're back, married. Next Christmas, there's a Christmas wedding, and every single one is that story. Every single one is that story.
But they must be hugely popular because it's, it's got to be like the 4th or 5th year of doing this. They've a stockpile.
10th year.
They got to have like 200 movies then in the.
Oh yeah, 10th year. Haven't you seen that little red truck with the Christmas tree? That's the big Hallmark, signature at Christmas time. It's like an old red Ford truck with a Christmas. That's actually from Christmas at Evergreen. That's where.
So out of all of those movies,
what the? I'm gonna to trade in my man card. I hope Cohen's not listening to this.
I'll tell you what. First of all, for you to know the title of Christmas at Evergreen,
I know
it puts you on thin ice. But the reason why I even know about it is because Cohen watches them all with his wife like crazy. He was bringing this up the other day to me. That's what we should do for a Christmas show: is just read these scripts or go through a lot of these. So next year we'll be talking about Hallmark for Christmas. But it's like his dirty secret. He's watching them like crazy. And what I understand is that the response is so great that it's going across cultures now, and like they're bringing in, as they should, more diversity with it, and they're bringing in some African American actors and Asian and whatever. So it's going across, all cultures, and people are really. It's like a dirty secret, like no one talks about, but everybody's really starting to enjoy these. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's just a good, Douglas. I'll tell you what, and we don't get political on this show very much. We kind of skate it. This country,
besides the time that I predicted that Trump would win, just FYI.
Yeah. Well, no. I predict. I'll go on a limb and I'll predict he gets reelected. How's that sound?
Well, that's not as big a prediction as mine was, but okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, long story short of it all, I think that there's a lot of. I don't want to say hatred but people don't get along like they used to.
Right.
Now, here's a way for me just to kind of hold up in my house and all these movies, nobody talks about anything. There's never any conflicts like that. It's
Right.
always, somebody stole the snowball, or someone hid the this, or someone did the. It's nicely can be.
It's like a modern Mayberry.
Yes, exactly. There you
and
go.
It gives you like a good feel, like, wow, can't we, live in a world like that? And we used to. I don't know what happened. We got all this. This stuff that's just like.
Now, I'm going to tell you a story. So, remember last year we drove back to Memphis with my son Joe?
Yes.
Okay? So, when we were there, the week after we left, he called us and he goes, "Hey, I think they're filming something here. I've seen some stuff near my house and over here, and I've heard some stuff's over at Graceland and blah, 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 blah." Well, yes, this is the second year. Last year they did one. It had Kelly Pickler in it, I think. This one, it's not. There's another movie, Christmas at Graceland. And he actually saw them filming it. It was filmed in July when we were there. And it was like 104, 105 every day.
Wow.
And when you know that, and then you see these people wearing their coats and everything and all bundled up and fake snow on the ground. And he was home over Thanksgiving. This movie was on. So we taped it. And we said, "Okay, Joe, do you recognize? Oh, yeah, this is this, this is this." And what they did, Douglas, is they had kind of a flyover, or a fly into Memphis, like over the bridge of the Mississippi and into the. Well, he could pick out his building there. He goes, there's where I live. There's the Cotton Exchange. There's the Peabody. But they all had snow on them.
Oh, wow.
So they had CGI'd, or whatever they call it. They had put snow
Sure.
on all these buildings. And Joe
That's
goes,
hysterical. Now, so, and that's one of the Hallmark movies.
Yeah. It's called Christmas at Graceland. Yeah. So we watched it, and Priscilla Presley has a very small role in it. She's on it for about maybe 5 minutes.
Oh, we got to look this up. Something's going on here. You're right. People are really. Well, maybe it'll catch on. Maybe the attitude will spread through the country, and we'll become a little more friendly with each other. I don't know. Although, on the other hand, out in public, downtown Northport, like we just spoke about that whole thing I went to, there wasn't any controversy. Everybody gets along. Everybody's fine. Everybody's happy. I think it's like when you get on the computer and you're anonymous, people can really be nasty,
Well, the last time I heard there was any problem in Northport, in fact, it made news here in California. It made it across. Apparently, there was a hot dog eating contest.
Yes.
And that was the last time there was any real.
Yeah, the guy, one of these characters that was highly rated and was looking to take the crown, somehow got stuck on top of the Ferris wheel. I don't know how that happened.
I would like to. You know what you need to do? You need to get like a special prosecutor and investigate this thing and see if somebody bribed the carny to keep you up there in order to win the. It was a donut eating contest this year.
Donut is what it was.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm going to have to look into that. That was a. I got to go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings. I used to do them all the time, but they were at like 7 a.m. And I just can't do it.
I would.
All right, when are your Chamber of Commerce meetings? Afternoons or mornings?
No, we meet at 8:30. In fact, we'll have one next Friday.
8:30 is not that bad.
Yeah. Well, we meet at 8:30. I'd rather start at 8, but we meet at 8:30, and we're out of there by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Right.
We try to keep them, But when I was president for 2 years. Man, I started them right at 8:30. If there was a quorum, boom, we started with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I don't like it when people, we're going to wait 5 minutes because Joe can't make it. No, Joe should have left his house 5 minutes.
People are constantly late then.
He should have left his house 5 minutes ago. No,
exactly.
Hey,
yes. Before we go on, I forgot. I want to conclude with the movies.
Yeah,
Fred Claus.
I've seen that a couple of times on there. That's one of those ones they're kind of bringing in this year. I've never seen it. I know is Vince Vaughn? Is that
Vince Vaughn? It's pretty good. You got to stick with it. It's Santa's brother, and they don't get along, and they explore why they don't, and then of course this is something that happens. It's pretty significant, and Christmas is going to be canceled because of this, that, and the other, and maybe the brother saves the day, maybe not. You got to watch it. I don't know. I got to. You're not saying it's the best movie in the world, but for a new story
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It comes on the heels of Elf, which is now, 15 years old. So looking for something like a new one, that one's pretty good. Give it a shot.
All right, Fred Claus. I'll see if I can watch it, see if it's on this weekend. Hey, speaking of this weekend, what's up with the show this week?
We have a gentleman by the name of Ron DeFore, whose father, Don DeFore, if you remember, this goes back now, was in The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and maybe you remember more because it's a little more contemporary, was the TV show Hazel. He was the
dad. Yeah, in Hazel. And
right, so he was believe it or not, he was a pretty connected guy, the father. And number one, he was, in Hollywood, he was in a ton of movies. He was with Lucille Ball and Charlton Heston, Judy Garland, and Martin and Lewis, and Bob Hope, and Groucho Marx. So he knew, the father again, knew all of these people. Secondly, he also, somehow or another, we'll find out the story, got close to Walt Disney at the time of the creation of Disneyland. So what happened is he eventually was able to parlay that friendship into the only business on Disneyland that was not owned by Disney. It was a restaurant. And so this gentleman that wrote this book speaks about, of course, all the run-ins with all these stars, or at least his discussion with his dad about these stars, but also living basically every weekend and all summers. He would be on in Disneyland every day with his brothers and sisters because of this restaurant.
I heard him say one time, we're the only kids in America that go, do we have to go to Disneyland again this weekend?
Exactly.
Did he say that? Did he say that in the interview at all? Because that's what.
I think he might. It's his famous line.
Yeah, they had a. Was it like in Frontierland or?
Yes.
It
was like a barbecue place.
Yeah.
And they had like banjos playing and all this. So he's got that, and so they were mischievous and went behind the scenes and learned a lot about Disney. So we talk about that a little bit.
Wow.
And then we also go into a pretty interesting discussion of that his dad, again, was so connected that one day they had a lot of different parties at the dad's house, and at one point in time, Led Zeppelin and some other bands were there.
Oh, man.
And in the 60s, I think it was 66, the Beatles were there at his house at a party, sitting under a tree.
Was his... Did he play the character, was it Thorny or... What?
Yes, that was it.
Thorny,
yeah.
Thorny, that was... See, I just barely remember Ozzie and Harriet. I don't think we have totally run out of time here, but yep. I don't think they've ever brought those back in syndication, have they? I've never.
Hazel used to be Ozzie and Harriet. I've never seen it.
Yeah, they should do that. Hey, tonight at 6:00, tomorrow night at 6:00, anchoring our evening program, Douglas Viviani and a fellow closet Hallmark watcher, David Cohen. Host Everything Old is New Again. Douglas, have a great show tonight.
I'll tune into Christmas and Evergreen this weekend.